If you want a good salesperson, you've got to pay a base commission. That's what a lot of business coaches say, but is it actually true? In today's video, we are going to discuss if hiring commission-only salespeople can work for you and your business. I'm Amy Walker, Client Acquisition Specialist, and I help clients be able to create consistent, predictable sales through their organic marketing and also their scalable sales strategies. And I am excited that you're here because we have got to debunk this one.
Oh, I love it already.
We all know that business coaches talk a lot of BLEEP, but what BLEEP do I think about this? False.
Really?
This one is not true. You can create great success in your business through hiring commission-only salespeople if you have the right strategies, and that's what we're going to cover today, my friends. This video is going to be legit. We are going to cover the different types of sales hires, how to figure out what your commission should be, where to hire, what the hiring process should look like, and if you stay until the end, I'm also going to give you the one thing that makes the biggest impact in hiring great salespeople for your team.
Cool.
So consider this like a mini masterclass in how to build your sales team. It is going to be a good one. First thing we got to talk about, there's different types of salespeople, and if you hire the wrong one for your needs, it's probably not going to work out amazingly well.
Congratulations, universe. You win.
So we have 4 different types of salespeople. Number 1 is going to be appointment setters. Appointment setters are going to be either prospecting for you and getting appointments scheduled for you, or calling your organic leads, pre-qualifying and getting appointments scheduled for you. The second type of sales hire is your closer. Your closer is going to obviously close the deals. If you have a higher ticket price point, I find that your closers are happier if you have an appointment setter because they don't like having to do all the bulk of the dials and they want the majority of their time to be spent closing. Makes sense? I think you also want the majority of their time to be spent closing. But if you have a one-part close, your offer's not super expensive, and you can just kind of get on the phone and close it, your sales team's not going to mind doing the dials and doing the sales calls.
Nice job.
But if you have a mid-ticket or a low-tier offer, you probably could just have one closer that does the calls and the closing at the same time. The next group that we have are business development salespeople. So they're the ones that are going like out into the community and they're generating leads for you and they're generating buzz for you, and then they're closing those deals. They are like the prospector and the closer in one. And the fourth type are affiliates. Affiliates are the people who they're just in it for the money. And they're selling for other people as well. They have a following, they like to promote stuff to that following, and that's how they earn money. And they are going to be always commission-based. Next, let's talk about how to structure your commission. I want you to think of it in these 4 different areas. So the first part is, how much are we willing to pay for somebody getting the lead? How much are we willing to pay for someone to set the lead? How much are we willing to pay for someone to close the lead? And how much are we willing to pay for someone to manage the sales team? Every industry is going to be a little bit different, but in general, I think most service-based businesses can afford to pay up to 25% total for their sales system. Now, if you are doing a lot of Facebook ads and your ads are really expensive, that sales number might need to come down overall. But in general, I think that's what we've got to play with is, 20-25%. So then when you're figuring out your commissions, you've got to look at it and say, okay, affiliates, they're going to bring in the leads and they're going to close the deals. So we can pay them for getting the lead. We can also pay them for closing. If you've got an affiliate who's only bringing in the leads, then that's all we're paying them for is the lead. If you've got a business development person, they are closing and bringing in the lead. A closer might only be closing. A setter might only be setting. And so when we break it down into those 4 categories, that helps us to know how much we can put into each position and what we're going to offer there commission-wise. So here's how I create a setter commission structure. I have a per set amount, per qualified set. I have a set volume bonus, and then I have a closing bonus. So if I'm paying 5% total of sales, I'm going to split that 5% up, and I might give 2% to the per set amount. I might give 1% to the volume bonus, and then I might give 2% to the close bonus.
Really?
So I'm fitting within the 5%, but I'm giving them payment in 3 different ways. The per set amount makes them feel like they have stability because they know every qualified appointment I get, $20. And that gives them that sense of like consistent paycheck. And then the volume bonus is what makes them stretch and say, you know, I only have to get 3 sets, but if I get 5, I get this bonus. And then the close bonus is what makes sure that they're not sending you junk sets. They really want their people to sign up and say yes, because then they get that great bonus at the end of it. One little tip. If you have multiple price points for your services, you need to figure out the first 2 commissions based on your lowest price point. Otherwise, you'll end up on your higher, if you base it on your higher program, you'll end up overpaying every time they sell a lower one because you're paying 1 or 2% of the highest instead of 1 or 2% of the lowest. And then you can make your bonuses go up higher on the higher ticket programs to still hit the 5%. Hopefully that math makes sense. If it doesn't, this would be a great question to bring into our private Facebook group.
I'd be stupid not to do it, right?
So if you want to learn more about this or get a little bit more insights or talk about your specific situation, come join us in our private Facebook group, Acquire. So where do we hire? I actually love hiring appointment setters in the Philippines. With a caveat though, they're not going to be commission only, but they are going to actually cost you much less overall than your US-based setters. So it's going to cost you about $6 an hour plus a closing bonus when people sign up for your programs. And if you want to go that route, it does save you money in the long run, but you do have to pay whether you get the sales or not. So that is going to be onlinejobs.ph is where I would hire for that. If I'm hiring in the US and I'm hiring commission only, you can hire on indeed.com and get some great applicants there. I recommend that you post it on your social media. I recommend that you go to your client base and ask for referrals. And then I also find that you're going to find your best closers as referrals from other closers. So you want to be paying attention. Anytime you are somewhere and you meet a really great salesperson, you want to be asking them like, hey, you're really good at your job and really good at what you do. Where did you learn all of this? And when they tell you, then you can say, well, you know, I always love having good connections with closers. Do you know anybody that's looking right now? Could we keep in contact? Like, you will find your best closers as referrals and recommendations from others. So build that contact base. If this is helpful and you're digging this content, make sure that you hit the like button and then subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time we release new content. All right, let's talk through the hiring process here. We are going to hire slow and fire fast. Your chances of getting a salesperson that's great on your team are not 100% even when you follow this process. When I hire a US-based commission-only setter in the US, I hire 4 people to get 1 to stick. When I hire in the Philippines, I hire 2 people to get 1 to stick. When I'm hiring a closer, it's about 1 and 2. And this varies depending on industries. I know some industries where they're like 1 out of 6. So you need to understand that the hiring process is really important, and we're going to take our time and really try to vet them. But even then, it's not a guarantee. So the first thing that we do is an interview, and this is going to be a Zoom interview. What I'm really looking for here is culture fit. Are they a culture fit on our team? Do I like them? Do they have relevant experience that I'm looking for? And do I feel like they could do the job and be great on the team? That's interview number 1. We're going to come back and do interview number 2, which is going to be a skills assessment. This is going to be role plays. So you're going to give them your scripting, and you are going to play different types of customers that you have. So you could do the easy to close one. You could do the skeptical one. You could do the I need more information one. And I'm not looking for them to have mastered my sales process, but I'm looking for them to be good. I'm looking for them to be somebody that I would want to buy from. I'm looking for, do they inspire trust? Are they going to connect and click with our clients? That's why culture fit's so important, because I've had great salespeople on my team who are great for other people's companies. They're not great for my clients, because my business is so relationship focused that if they're a really informational seller, they don't tend to do well. We need relationship-based sellers.
Absolutely correct.
So I'm going to look at all of those things and analyze, based on that second interview who I want to move forward with. Once they come on board, I have a scale up plan. The challenging thing with salespeople is they are really good at selling themselves, right? And you also have this phase where it takes time to fill your pipeline. So it's hard to tell in the beginning if they're good or not because they talk like they're great. But you might be looking at it going, okay, well, they haven't closed anything. It's been 2 weeks. I don't know. Is that good? Is that not good? So what I do is I have a scale up plan. It's a 6-week plan where each week I go through and I write the benchmarks of where I expect them to be at in terms of activity, in terms of knowledge, and in terms of results. So if they get behind, I don't have to wait. Especially if you had a 2-month sales cycle, I don't have to wait 2 months to see if they're working out. I can tell at week 2, oh, they are not hitting their benchmarks. They don't have the knowledge base I asked them to have. Their skill set's falling below. Their activity wasn't there. I can let that person go quickly when I realize they're not a fit instead of sticking it out for way too long. So many small business owners I know have stuck with a bad salesperson for way too long, and it is a painful experience.
Oh, I understand.
All right, I mentioned that we should hire slow, fire fast. The other thing that you can do to protect your company's sales while you're bringing on a new salesperson is you or whoever's currently selling, don't take yourself out of sales until that person's sales has gotten to a point where you're comfortable with it. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they go, okay, I'm going to hire a salesperson, and now I'm out of sales. I'm not doing sales at all. And they watch as the company's sales go down. And even if they're still only paying commission, if company sales are going down, it still is hard. You're still going to feel that pain. So if you bring on a new salesperson and you're the one that's closing right now, you stay in the sales role. And then when that person gets good, now you can pull yourself out of sales. Now, once you start hiring salespeople, I'm just gonna lay this out there. Your especially setters, they are like hungry hippos. They're like, hey, can I have more leads? Where are leads? Can I get more leads? Are we ready for new leads? I need leads. And so I'm going to recommend that you go watch my 15-minute masterclass on how to fix the 5 biggest problems in your marketing so you can make sure that you know how to bring in consistent organic leads to feed those hungry salespeople. All right, thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you back soon.